useful for you. So we'll do this and we'll hop over to the math part of it. So first of all, just take a look at the term radiation. Radiation just means energy capable of penetrating matter. You know, of course, we have the ionizing and non-ionizing types. Ionizing has the ability to remove electrons along its path. Non-ionizing does not. With ionizing, there are two types. We have electromagnetic, which are X and gamma rays, and we have particulate, which are alpha and beta particles. The non-ionizing, some examples are magnetic waves, sound waves, and so on. So, of course, we all work with the ionizing part and electromagnetic. You've all probably heard of the electromagnetic spectrum, and I'll show you that in a second. But electromagnetic radiation has frequency and wavelength. Frequency is the number of oscillations per unit of time. Wavelength is the distance from one oscillation to the next, one voltage peak to the next. And so, electromagnetic radiation, frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional to one another. In other words, if your frequency increases, your wavelength automatically gets shorter. And so, the two are inversely proportional. And of the two, frequency is what ultimately determines the strength of the photon. Wavelength kind of goes along with it, but it's primarily frequency we look at to determine a photon's strength. So the electromagnetic spectrum, you may have seen this in your books and so on, going from the very longest wavelength, lowest frequency photons, up to the shortest wavelength, the highest frequency. You've got radio waves, longest wavelength, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-ray, and then finally gamma ray. Now, in the beginning, when I teach this to my student in physics, they have a hard time remembering long wavelength, low frequency. If you take a look here, that begins with the letters LO, and this begins with the letters LO. Long wavelength, low frequency. Easy way to remember it. And a little bit of a stretch, but high frequency starts with an H. There's an H right here in shortest wavelength. Now, here's the problem. Suppose you take your registry and they give you 4 of those in the